Hello and welcome to Market House, the podcast where we talk all things Disney. My name's Caleb.
And I'm Caitlin.
And this week we talk about some downtown Disney updates.
Country Bear Jamboree closes.
And we share all you need to know about Disneyland transportation. Let's dive in. All right, this is episode number 119. Can't wait to get started.
Yeah, welcome back as always, everybody.
Welcome back. It has been a good week.
It's been a great week.
Yeah, I'm looking back going, nothing to complain about.
No.
Again, just working away, hanging out with the little one.
Yeah.
What else?
Watching
Anything
some
else?
Disney videos.
Yes.
We've been watching a lot of walkthroughs recently, which I just love. It's so relaxing, and it
Yeah.
also makes us feel like we're in the parks.
It's good to have on in the background if you're doing something else like scrolling through your phone,
Yeah.
working. I mean, I have it on in the background when I'm working. And yeah, it's just a good time. And you get to hear the park atmosphere,
Which
the
is always
music.
awesome.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
feel like you're there.
We're missing it a lot recently.
Tons.
Yeah.
Like if I could, I'd be there today.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here.
I would hop in that car and just drive down or go to the airport and then figure it out.
Hey, soon enough. It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming around
I
the
can't
mountain.
wait.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we've had a great week. Maddie's doing well. She's holding her head up longer, which is awesome. She's able to look at her toys and she's interested in them now, which is so just awesome. She's growing like crazy. She's already 10 weeks old.
I know.
Which I can't even believe it.
It is nuts. It goes by in a flash.
Seriously.
Like seriously, you blink and we're here.
I know. She's already semi-rolling over on her own, which
Yeah.
is crazy scary. I'm like, how is she doing this?
Yeah.
But everything's going great. Can't complain.
Cannot complain. It is weird though, the weather today. We're gone from, again, a very mild, normal California winter. It's just like 60 degrees. That's pretty much all we get. Today it is 70 flippin' degrees.
It's just insane to me. It does look like the weather is going to dip a little bit back into the low 50s, but looking outside right now, it's blue skies and sunshine.
It's warm.
And
like
yes.
the house is warm. I'm in a short sleeve shirt.
I know. Same.
It feels like spring.
I know. It's kind of nice though. It makes me a little excited because when it's super cold outside, we can't do a lot with her. We can't go on our walks. It kind of
Yeah, but that means summer's around the corner. And
I
our
know.
summers last 7 months long.
They really do.
And they're hot.
I know.
It's like 90s and 100.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to that, but we do get a little break in that cold weather. So I guess we'll go for a walk in a little bit and enjoy that nice sunshine.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're having decent weather where you're at. I know recently the East Coast and some parts of the Midwest got hit with a huge storm
Yeah,
or something.
snowstorm or something.
Yeah, ice storms and snowstorms. So hopefully it has relented a little bit. All right, before we dive into that news, please consider joining us over on Patreon, markethousepodcast.com/support. The link is also available in the episode description. You can click on that and join us over there. We just posted a bonus episode, kind of covered our, first trips to the park?
Yeah.
Both of our first trips and then our first trip together. So it was a little bit of a story time. That was fun. But again, feel free to join us over there for all that bonus content. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. It is a huge help to the show. Again, thank you in advance for doing that. You can leave a 5-star rating on both Spotify and Apple and a written review on Apple Podcast. All right, let's dive into that news.
All right, first up, we have some West Coast news. We have some major updates coming to Downtown Disney that we are super excited about.
Yeah, we're just now getting a look at it. So Disney announced these months ago, but we're just now getting some concept art, and it looks really stinking good. This is for Parkside Market, which is going to be basically a building that houses 4 separate restaurants.
Right, so quite a large building.
Yeah, and this is kind of I wouldn't say a new thing. This is a popular thing that larger cities do. So, you can go, in downtown Seattle, it's a big deal to go to this market where there's a building with a ton of different restaurants in it. In San Francisco, we've eaten some places like that where it's you can go, it's almost like a fancy food court.
It's more convenient.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one location for a bunch of I won't call them pop-ups, but smaller restaurants.
Right.
Okay, hopefully that makes all sense. Again, this is going to be going in the west end of downtown Disney, so over kind of by the ESPN, formerly known as ESPN Zone, all that kind of stuff, so down that way. This market is going to feature, again, like I mentioned, 4 different restaurants. Soul Sister? How do you pronounce that?
I think it's Seoul.
Is it Seoul?
Oh,
It's
gosh.
Korean food. So I'm assuming it's like for South Korea.
Don't
but
take us up on the
whatever.
title.
Seoul. Sip and Sonder, which is a coffee and Caribbean-inspired restaurant. Gigi's Chicken Shop, which is in the name.
Yum.
Serves, I'm going to let you guess.
Chicken.
And a second story bar. That's pretty much all the detail I've given us on that second story bar, but good views of downtown Disney and some drinks.
And the location of this is going to be really nice for those staying at the Disneyland Hotel or like the villas because you can just walk. It's super close.
Super close.
And again, I know that there's always restaurants on downtown Disney property, but the fact that that area is going to be right next to the hotel, it's pretty convenient.
That'll be really nice. They also announced a new restaurant, which is going to be in addition to Centrico and Paseo. So all by the same restaurant tour and chef, but it's called Tiendita. Tiendita. I don't know. I got to practice my Spanish. It's the on-the-go option. So you know how, what's that place called? Tortilla Joe's, which is leaving, unfortunately, in March. How they have like a quick service option downstairs. You can walk up, grab a taco, and go.
Yeah, and almost like Naples as well.
Yeah, like Naples. Exactly. This is their version of that. So it's your on-the-go tacos, I'm assuming, easy bites that you can chomp down and then keep going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, be fun. And then finally, they revealed the Earl of Sandwich will be a 2-story building. Downstairs is going to be the usual quick service sandwich shop, and the upstairs is going to be a table service gastro pub. It's going to be fun. And fun fact, did you know this, that Disney owns that franchise?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm excited it's staying. I've never had a sandwich there, but their chocolate chip cookies are next level.
They're good. The only reason we haven't eaten there is because they're not very good for the gluten-free folks. So it's surprising. Again, we've got sandwich shops near us that have gluten-free bread. I don't know why they couldn't offer that. They have a couple of salads, but at that point, I'd rather just eat a salad in the park. It's kind of hard to screw it up. So, if I want a sandwich, it'd be nice to have it there.
Right. All right, next up we have some Run Disney news, and this is some very exciting news. Run Disney has just released the themes for the September Run Disney event over at Disneyland, and they look absolutely amazing.
They look really good. So again, we knew an event was happening in September. We just didn't know what the themes were, and Disney is letting us know right now. They're all Halloween themed, of course. It's taking place in September. So the Halloween season, of course, starts really early this year in August, right?
Yes.
That still blows my mind. It's going to be 105 degrees, and we're going to be all celebrating with Halloween attire.
I know.
That's very bizarre. You've got the Halloween 5K, which is Chippendale themed. You've got the Halloween 10K, Haunted Mansion themed. The Halloween Half Marathon, Hocus Pocus themed. And then the Chills and Thrills Challenge, which is it's the half marathon and 10K? Or is it all of them?
Oh, I have no idea.
It's 19 point something, I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're not huge Run Disney people. The Nightmare Before Christmas themed.
And
then this is the cool thing. This is the addition that we didn't know was coming. They have a run for kids this year.
So awesome.
To our knowledge, this is the first of its kind.
I believe so.
I have not seen this before. So this is for kids. So let me kind of read off the details here. It's Cars themed. Children up to age 9 who participate in the Run Disney Kids races go home a winner with a finisher medallion designed for the tiniest of runners. Encourage your child to join in this fun-filled weekend. There's even a diaper dash for crawlers.
Yes, so what I really love about this event is Disney has kind of separated each of the kids groups by age. So instead of just going, hey, 0 to 9 all show up in one area.
No.
It's like 0 to 1, 2 to 3.
It's ages 0 to 1, ages 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and 7 to 9. So they section them off. Again, 9-year-olds with a bunch of toddlers, that's not going to really work.
Right.
So that's going to be pretty stinking cool. The registration opens February 13th. At 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern. It's only $40 for the kids race.
Right.
I think that's reasonable. You get a medal. You get to do a fun Disney-themed thing. I don't know. $40 I think is fair.
I think it's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty awesome. Again, keep in mind that these race registration fees are not refundable. So make sure you can make it, or else you're out all that money for your family if all of them are participating. If you've got mom and dad running races, if you've got some kids, that is a chunk of change. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you book it, make sure you can make it.
Yes, and just a little tip for those of you that are considering doing the 10K, that is the same day as the kids race as well. So I'm assuming that since the 10K is going to be early in the morning, that the kids race is going to be later in the day.
Yeah.
But Disney hasn't released timeframes for that, so we'll see.
They have not. All right, Run Disney. All right, next up, we've got some East Coast news. All you Walt Disney World folks, the Country Bear Jamboree officially closed its doors for the final time on Friday, January 26th. And that's kind of. So I'll return back to that. Lines were long all flippin' day as guests wanted to catch one last show before it went away. But unfortunately, the animatronics broke down right before its final show.
No way.
All these poor fans were all waiting. It was a super long wait. Again, this attraction has not garnered this love for a long time. It's been kind of neglected, and people have maybe just said, "Yeah, Country Bear Jamboree, it's a classic, but I don't need to spend time doing it."
Yeah.
This last week was different. Everyone wanted to catch one final show, but again, as guests arrived, they realized, oh shoot, the last show's not going to happen. The animatronics broke down, so guests received a Country Bears poster as kind of a sorry gift. Like, womp womp.
I like how they had those on hand.
I know, right? They had them, I don't know
They
how they
knew
did
it was
that.
going to happen.
Again, I believe they let them take pictures of the theater as well. So at least they let them in there to take pictures.
That's awesome.
One final goodbye. But the show is returning, just a different theme in a way, and a different title. So it's going to be called the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. And let me read the official description here. The Country Bears are getting ready to put on a new show that pays homage to the Opry-style shows of Nashville. While the Country Bear Musical Jamboree will include Easter eggs from the beginning to the end, including a familiar tune fans may remember, the Bears will sing new, reinterpreted Disney tunes in different genres of country music, like bluegrass, pop country, Americana, rockabilly, and other styles.
Rockabilly?
I don't know what rockabilly is. It sounds fun. I want to take part in it.
Oh.
So again, if you were a fan of the original, I'm sorry, but this, again, at least the characters are coming back, and it's going to be reimagined by Disney.
All right, for our final news story, we have news that takes place over in Paris. It looks like the Disneyland Hotel has finally reopened.
Yes, it just underwent an extensive refurbishment. Expansive and extensive. I try to combine the two right there. But again, it is stunning. We usually don't report on international happenings at the Disney resorts just because I don't know how many people have the chance to go out there. So I don't know how the news, how it applies to many folks. We don't get to go out there all the time. But we had to report on this because this hotel looks flipping amazing.
It's the first 5-star hotel.
This is what they said. I thought the Grand California was a 5-star. It's a 4-star.
Yeah.
So this is, according to them, the first 5-star Disney hotel in the world, and deservedly so. It looks gorgeous. The standard rooms feature 11 different animated movies. For example, you can have a Moana-themed room, Tangled, Frozen. I think they had a Sleeping Beauty room.
That's so cool.
It's pretty flippin' awesome. There's a Royal Kids Club where they can experience interactive and augmented reality experiences.
And this is pretty neat. And they have childcare now at a hotel. Like, that's awesome.
Yes, I don't know if it's for older kids. I know they have 2 hours of free nursery time for little ones. I don't know what this looks like. I think this is a kids club, but I think parents are present.
Gotcha.
I may not understand this correctly, but if I'm wrong, please correct me. But you can also book princess meet and greets. You have something called the My Royal Dream Experience, which is pretty much the Bibbidi Boppity Boutique.
Right.
Again, these are just some of the new additions to the hotel. Go look it up online because it is totally worth your time. There is a ton of cool stuff here, but this all comes with a price. I was curious if Caitlin and I felt crazy and wanted to go out to Paris and enjoy this new resort, how much would this cost me? So I found some random dates in May, and there's actually no option, by the way, to do a hotel-only stay.
Interesting. You
have to purchase tickets with your hotel.
I wonder if they're trying to weave out people just wanting to stay at the hotel without going to the parks.
That's for everyone. That's all of them. They have multiple hotels there.
Oh, okay.
That's for all of them. So I don't know why. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want people to stay at your hotel even if they're not going to hit the parks up?
I have no idea.
I don't know. So anyways, you have to book it as a package. So let me tell you how much this is. For the cheapest room, just their standard room, which is still beautiful, this is including park tickets for 5 nights, $7,763.
Whoa.
That is expensive. So I priced the tickets out, and I backed out about $800 because that's what I value them at. I did some rough math. It still comes out to about $7,000 for 5 nights.
That is a lot of money.
So again, I don't know if it's because of the newness and there's a lot of hype around it, so they're going to charge that much. Maybe it comes down, but
that's more than a cruise.
That's a lot of money.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's how much it costs you to stay at a 5-star Disney resort.
Wow. Well, even with that, like the hotel is absolutely beautiful. Like you guys definitely need to check it out. Like they have like is it a chandelier?
Yeah, it's a chandelier.
It is literally like multiple pieces of glass that form the castle over there.
It's gorgeous.
Like I can't even describe it. It's absolutely stunning.
And in the room, the paintings, like it looks like, what's her name? Elsa.
Yes.
Queen Elsa is casting some kind of snow spell or something.
Yeah.
And there's like little fiber optic lights or something that are in the painting. And so it looks like she's casting it, lights up.
It's so pretty.
Very, very pretty. So again, if you are going to go to this hotel. Let us know. We
Yeah,
would love
seriously.
to ask you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't made our way over to Disneyland Paris yet.
We will one day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and welcome to another edition of Name That Tune. All right, last week was our first time playing this game, and it was rough.
It was hard.
This was hard. A lot of you wrote in, said that you liked it,
Yes.
but it was also very hard. So this week, we're going to kind of maybe, like I told Caitlin, let's try and pick some more recognizable tunes. Again, we're not going to lead off the chorus or what have you. But again, if you're new to the show or just new to the concept of this, we basically just list off or read off a few lines from a Disney tune, and we have to guess what movie and what the title of the song is.
And it is tricky, let me tell you.
It is tricky. So last week we did Can You Feel the Love Tonight was one of them, right? It's something about a kaleidoscope, and Caitlin was very surprised that those lyrics were in there. But yeah, we missed most of them. I got both wrong. Caitlin got one right.
Yes.
So
Let's see about this week.
Let's see if we improve.
All right.
Let's go and do it.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First up, look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold?
Oh my gosh. Little Mermaid.
But what's the
Part
song?
of your world?
Correct.
Let's go.
All
Okay.
right.
We're being a little nicer to each other this week.
Okay. This one might be a little tricky for you.
Okay.
All right. Last one. Fairy tales can come true. You got to make them happen. It all depends on you. And it's so hard for me not to sing the song.
Fairy tales can't come true. What about making them happen?
You got to make them happen. It all depends on you.
Oh, it's Tiana. It's Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
Almost there?
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Awesome job.
All right.
You killed it.
I will admit those were easier.
Okay, but still.
But I mean, without the tune. That's what I think everyone mentioned
It's
was that
hard.
without the tune of the lyrics, it's really hard to guess it just by reading off. Okay. Thank you. That was nice.
Thank you.
Here we go. Here are
All
your
right.
two. I think these are easy. Here
All
we
right.
go. Fate is kind. She brings to those who love the sweet fulfillment of their secret longing.
Okay, so I have the tune in my head.
Fate is kind. And again, if you hear some noises, Maddie's enjoying a pacifier right now, right next to the mic. So we're doing what we can over here.
Is it When You Wish Upon a Star?
It is When You Wish Upon a Star. How'd you get that?
Yay! I'm thinking of the tune like.
Dang it.
I'm not going to sing to you guys. It's weird. Sorry.
Good job. I'd love for you to serenade me. Okay, the next one is I'll think of a mermaid lagoon. Oh, underneath a magic moon. I'll think I'm in a pirate's cave.
You can fly.
I'll think I'll be an Indian brave. What is it?
You can fly.
You can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
Fly, Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. All right, hopefully that was easier.
Okay, here's my thing though. We went too extreme last time and too easy this time.
I know. So
next
we'll
time-
find that nice middle ground. But that was fun. Again, I wish I could play like 3 seconds of the tune and turn it off.
Oh, I know.
I just do not want to risk it.
Oh,
I don't
no,
want
no.
to hear from some Disney lawyer
No.
telling me he's going to send me a cease and desist.
But hey, definitely let us know how you guys did. You guys loved it last week. I was surprised by how many of you guys got them correct. That was really hard for us. So hopefully this week was a little bit easier for you guys. Let us know who had the more difficult ones. Was it Caleb or me or I? Whoever.
We may never know. All right, and that brings us to our main segment of this week's episode, and that is Disneyland transportation. How do you get around these dang things?
It can be quite tricky.
It can be tricky. So if you've never been, I don't blame you if you're like stressed out, a little overwhelmed at trying to figure out how to get around these parks, especially Walt Disney World. We will tackle that in another episode. Today we're tackling Disneyland by itself because actually there's enough to kind of worry about and think about that, we thought we'd dedicate one episode to it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So we're actually going through this right now. We consider ourselves like Disneyland, I would say pros.
Yeah.
We've gone a million times. And even we're like confused as to how we get transportation for the little ones. So Caitlin and I have been going by ourselves for years, just the two of us. You fly down there, you don't have to worry about it. You hop in an Uber, you're there, blah, 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 beep, beep, beep. Now with the little one, she needs a car seat.
Right.
So do you lug a car seat with you? Do you book private transportation to have a car seat? Does Uber even allow a car seat in there? So
Yeah.
there are a million questions.
Especially because it's not like Walt Disney World where they offer transportation directly to the resorts where you don't need a car seat.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Which is still like does that boggle your mind at all?
That they don't need a car seat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a bus, how is that any different than a car?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that's another podcast episode.
The rules of the road. So we thought it'd be helpful to cover all the transportation options on both coasts, starting with Disneyland. Okay, let's dive in. Airport. Which one? Which one are you choosing?
I mean, honestly, I would love to choose John Wayne, but it's gotten so expensive.
It's gotten super expensive. So we suggest using these two airports here, John Wayne or Orange County. It's got a couple of names. Long Beach. So John Wayne / Orange County or Long Beach. Those are two airports, not three.
Right.
Like Caitlin mentioned, Orange County has gotten stupid expensive. Used to be like, we used to get $49 flights down there. Those days are long gone. They're nearly $200 now for the same exact flight. So what is that, triple?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, quadruple the cost.
And that's if you go on like a Tuesday or Wednesday
Yeah.
or something.
It's unbelievable. So it's gotten very expensive to fly down there. I don't know why. Long Beach is considerably cheaper. So we've been flying into Long Beach a lot, and it's awesome. It's 15, 20 minutes away from the parks. Orange County is about 10 to 15. So it's maybe 5 minutes shorter, but both are really, really great options. LAX, let me address this. It's a 45-minute to an hour drive, and it's LAX. It's not the nicest airport in the world. It's very busy. It's very hectic. It's far away. I wouldn't do this if I were you. Again, even if you're saving money on the flights, you've got to consider the Uber cost or the transportation cost. Those have gotten insane. So it's a pain in the butt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would avoid it. Now that you've landed, let's get to Disneyland. So if you're only using Disney and not wanting to hit up any of the other attractions in the area, Universal, what else? I mean, Legoland's not really in the area, but it's a couple hours away. Yeah, the beach, other things. Then we suggest using Uber or Lyft, because let me explain. I'll explain a little bit as to why not to rent a car.
Yeah.
If you can control it. If you want to rent a car and you don't mind paying up, then rent a car by all means, but you're going to pay up, and I'll explain that.
I definitely think there's some cons to it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So let's explain that in a second. Let's cover private transportation too. That's similar to Uber or Lyft, except you're kind of pre-booking it, and it's like an approved driver, I guess, like licensed and stuff. It's maybe a little more legit, feels a little more. They'll have what do you call them? Car seat options. You'll pay maybe a little extra for it, maybe. But again, if you want a more like, I don't know, safe option? Do you consider it safe?
Yeah, because we all know that Uber and Lyft obviously has standards that all the drivers have to like abide by. But however, sometimes I feel like when we get into a car, I'm like, there's no way that this is what it's supposed to be.
100%.
And again, we're not going to get into all of that, but the private transportation definitely kind of secures more of a like, hey, everything's kosher.
Yep.
Because again, it's private transportation.
Exactly.
So.
We've not used it before. We've heard nothing but great things, though. If you do a quick Google search, you'll find a million services down there. We wouldn't. I'm not in good conscience going to suggest one because we haven't used one.
Correct.
But again, I've heard nothing but good things. You can book those. Again, it's going to cost you a little more than Uber or Lyft, but if you want that peace of mind, then book some private transportation. Okay, let's get to renting a car. You can totally do that. You can rent a car both at Long Beach, LAX, Orange County, you name it, except it's going to cost you some money. Car rentals have gotten up, but also the flippin' parking.
I know.
So the Disneyland Resort hotels and 99% of the hotels in the area all charge for nightly parking. This is going to run you an extra $25 to $40 per night.
That is so ridiculous.
That adds up so fast.
Yes, it does.
So again, just imagine the gas, imagine the car rental, imagine the parking. That is a very, very expensive way of getting to the parks. So try and use Uber if you can. That's my suggestion. That's super expensive. Now that you're at your hotel, I'm assuming you've gotten there. You're tired. Maybe you took a power nap. How do you get to and around the Disneyland Resort? Well, the good news is it's way easier than Disney World.
Definitely, for
like
sure.
we mentioned before, this is not Disney World. So Disneyland, everything around it's very small. I mean, everything's pretty close by to the resorts.
And pretty walkable as well.
Yes. Harbor's gotten not as walkable for multiple reasons, but it's still walkable totally. In big groups. Stay in a big group. We're assuming you're staying at a hotel somewhat near the resort or at a Disney hotel. I would totally suggest, though, booking a hotel that's a mile or closer to the park. That gives you the option of walking back to your hotel if you want to skip out on some other options. But again, anything farther, that's a long walk to start your day and end your day.
Yes. And again, a lot of the hotels do have transportation that comes at an additional cost, but still, that's something to keep in mind.
Yes, like Caitlin mentioned, a lot of surrounding hotels offer that shuttle service that you can purchase. Again, this is going to be an addition. For example, we stay at the Hyatt Regency quite often. That's actually, it's maybe a little bit over a mile away. We usually pay for the shuttle, though. That's $6 per person per day. So just budget for that if you've got a big family, that can add up. But again, you probably saved money booking that hotel that's farther away, so it all kind of evens out. Again, if they don't offer a shuttle directly, then there is usually an ART stop, which is the Anaheim Regional Transportation. You can purchase a multi-day pass online. I believe you can purchase one at the hotel as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, and this is the same price, about $6 per day.
Not bad at all.
Not bad. And then if you buy it in a multi-day pack or whatever, I think it gets it down to like $4 a day or something.
Yeah, but some of the hotels can get a little pricey when it comes to the shuttle services. Speaking specifically with, is it the Hilton, the convention center one?
Yeah, the Hilton Anaheim, we've stayed there a lot too, and they are stupid expensive.
I think it's $12.
Is it $12 per person?
I think it's $12 or more a person per day. So like that's extremely expensive. So just, again, keep that in mind when you are trying to budget for that.
Yes. If you drove to the area and you have your car, you can technically, on paper, load the car up with the family and drive to the Toy Story parking lot or Mickey and Friends parking structure. Those are the two options you have over at the Disney Resort. But this is going to cost you $35 per day.
I remember when this was $17.
That is depressing.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Yeah, we had the passes back then.
Yes.
So it adds up. It is nuts. Again, I wouldn't do this if you can keep the car at the hotel. You're already paying $40 a night for that.
Right.
So might as well keep it there and don't add to your bill already and go for $35. Again, if it's a mile walk, just walk it or pay for that shuttle. Again, Disneyland is relatively small compared to Walt Disney World. So getting around the parks is pretty much just walking.
Right.
Disneyland and California Adventure are only 300 feet away from each other.
That's it?
Yeah.
No way.
So there's we call it the Esplanade. It's the area between both Disneyland and California Adventure. You just walk right across that and you're in the other park.
Way easier than Walt Disney
Way
World.
easier. So again, it's a lot of walking at the Disneyland Resort. You can use the monorail. That's another form of transportation. Again, fun fact, this is the first daily operating monorail in the Western Hemisphere.
Wow.
All right, look at Walt.
All right.
Ahead of his time. You can use this to get to and from downtown Disney and Tomorrowland. That's inside of Disneyland. So you show them your ticket right before getting on the monorail.
Yeah.
So to make sure you're a ticketed guest so you can get into the park. I would consider this more of an attraction, not so much like a legit form of transportation.
I would say so as well because it's not like the Contemporary over at Walt Disney World where it goes through the hotel. So it's not taking you to the Disneyland hotel.
No. Yeah, it's not like miles away. It's like I think it's a 1.5 to 2 mile ride. So it's very short.
Yes.
The Walt Disney World one is legit getting you miles and miles away.
Yeah.
Multiple hotel stops, getting you to the Magic Kingdom. It is like way more legit. Ours is definitely like it's almost like a proof of concept.
Yeah.
Like this thing can happen. So yeah, I wouldn't, by the time you wait in line to load your family up, wait for it to get you over there. It's a very leisurely kind of pace. Get off, whatever. I mean, you're maybe saving a minute or two.
Yeah.
It probably is the same, right? Just walking.
Yeah. Especially on a busy day.
Yeah. So if it's really hot outside and you don't want to walk it, by all means, use it.
And it is fun to go on it.
It's
So.
okay. Caitlin loves
I
it.
love the
I'm
monorail.
actually not a giant fan, but again, if you want to take it, totally do it. Technically, again, on paper, the Disneyland Railroad is also a form of transportation to get around the park. Again, it's not really going to save you time, but don't skip it. It's actually super fun.
Right.
It's got multiple stops. It's got Main Street. What else? Tomorrowland,
New Orleans Square.
New Orleans Square,
Toontown.
and Toontown. Am I missing any? That's
No.
it.
Well, yeah. You said Main Street.
I
But
said
that's
Main
pretty
Street.
much it.
Yeah, so again, it's the Circle Tour, right? Grand Circle Tour of the Disneyland Resort. Again, it is totally an attraction. You'll save time walking, but it is super fun. Don't skip this. It's the perfect time to take if you're just tired of walking.
Yeah, it's super relaxing.
Yeah, if you want to eat a snack,
We love doing that.
it's perfect.
Grab a coffee.
Power nap. I've fallen asleep on it multiple times.
Don't lay down though.
Yeah, don't lay down. Again, calling these next ones here that I'm going to mention is totally a stretch to call them actual modes of transportation. But again, on paper, they are. You've got the Main Street vehicles. You've got what is it called? The omnibus.
Yeah.
The kind of trolley thing with the
little-
horse.
Yeah, the fire truck
The
thing.
fire truck thing.
Yeah.
It's not really.
It's
It's an attraction.
We did the omnibus and it was fun. I
It
loved
was fun.
it.
It is a fun whatever. If it's your first time at the Disneyland Resort, you don't maybe need to waste time taking those. Maybe head to a big attraction.
I thought it was magical.
It is magical.
The omnibus, especially if you sit on top.
Don't get me wrong. If you have the time, take it.
But definitely.
But if you've got 2 days at the parks, are you telling people to waste their time doing that?
Unless you love that form of transportation.
You know what you can use? A double-decker bus ride.
But hey, it is very magical. It takes you to the castle and down Main Street. It's such a fun idea, especially if you grab an ice cream.
Especially if you want to smooch up there. If you want to kiss each other.
I'd rather have ice cream. I'm just kidding.
Wow, rude. Also, you've got over in California Adventure, the red car trolley. Again, this is a fun one. We have actually never taken this.
No.
We should do it next time.
Yeah.
It's usually 100 degrees, so it's like a oven sitting in it. But this is kind of what I mean, we've ridden the real ones in San Francisco.
Right.
Come on.
You got to do the Disney one.
You got to do that as one.
Let's do it.
They're fun. Okay. That's pretty much it. Am I missing anything? That's an actual mode of transportation. You can take the boats and stuff. That's a ride. That's not getting you anywhere.
What boats?
In the Mark Twain.
Oh.
What are you thinking of, dude?
My mind went straight to It's a Small World. And I'm like, what?
No. Okay, you can actually tour the entire world on these boats. It's a magic ride.
No, honestly, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah. I wish it was more than that. Disney World has it on that one.
I know. Well, it's a city over there. So
yeah, for sure.
They have to.
But yeah.
That's pretty much it. We're quaint, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're the original. We're real small. We're easy to get around. That's the charm of Disneyland is you can kind of just putt around. Again, a lot of walking. Let me get into that here in a second. So let's talk about the future of Disneyland transportation. This is the potential. I mean, I didn't talk about if you park at the parking structures, you can take either the tram or the Disney buses. Is that count?
Well, I mean, you did cover that by doing the Toy Story parking lot. But yes, you can park in the parking structure and take the tram, which is very, very nice. We love doing that. We don't get to do it as often because, again, we're not parking over there. But it is one of those things where it will take you from the parking garage to downtown Disney. And then, again, you just walk to the parks.
Yeah. So, again, it's putting you down by maybe a mile or so. It's not like a legit, I just have a really hard time. That's a stretch to me because it's all walkable.
For sure.
Yeah. But anyways, let's talk about the future of Disneyland transportation. You may have heard about the Disneyland Forward project. It's a proposal from Disney to expand the resort in Anaheim. They have proposed building a shopping district on the existing Toy Story parking lot. So they would get rid of the parking lot altogether and build this huge, basically downtown Disney / Disney Springs like experience. I think potentially they said there was going to be a resort right in the middle of it.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if that's going to happen for reals.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Expanding both Disneyland and DCA, so they would take over actually a couple of existing parking lots over there to expand them, not a new park, but expand both existing parks, and potentially adding other modes of transportation. This was included in the proposal. They had pictures of a, what do you call it, Skyliner?
See, that would be awesome.
And they had like a monorail going through the city as an idea. I don't know.
That is so far-fetched, though. The amount of money that's going to take and cost.
And mind you, we have to keep in mind, this is a city. This is a real city, Anaheim. This is not Disney, like...
Disney World, where it's just in a bubble.
Yeah, it's not Disney's property. So we would have to have, like, approval from the city, all this red tape and permitting and blah, blah, blah. And
which
blah,
we
blah, blah.
all know how hard it is to get approval for Disney and Anaheim to agree on something.
Yeah.
But again, I do hope that it does happen because it'd be one of those things where that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having a Skyliner at Disneyland?
That would be so sick.
So awesome.
Again, to cover a mile, is that... I don't know, the cost?
Just do it, honestly.
Okay.
What would Walt do?
Write the check.
Make it magical, let's say.
Yeah, what would Walt do? Again, I think that we're probably going to be stuck with more walking. Let me tell you why. They just presented to the Anaheim City Council basically this idea. Okay, this was their first draft. David from Fresh Bake did an amazing video on YouTube. Go look it up. I'm going to give all credit to him. He did this, and I watched it, and I'm now regurgitating it out of my mouth and into your ears.
Okay. Thank you for that visual.
That's very gross.
That's disgusting.
So, David did mention that the proposal included 5 pedestrian bridges, mainly for walking to and from the new parking structures that would replace the Toy Story parking lot. So these are only just bridges. There was no mention of a monorail. There was no mention of a Skyliner. So I don't know if those are going to happen.
I mean, again, it's more cost effective to just do a bridge.
I know, but Disney loves to do the whole like flashy, like in 5 years, we're going to do this. And then when we get like a couple years out, they're like, actually, we're just going to get a couple of Honda Civics and put you around back and forth. Like, that's fun. Brought to you by Honda.
It'd be cool if they were Utopia cars. Like,
Stop. That would be terrible. So again, I think we're going to be stuck with walking around Disneyland. Again, especially with the amount of money that Disney is wanting to spend on the expansion. We did get a little sneak peek on how much they're looking to spend on this project. Now, mind you, Disney just announced, was it $60 billion in 10 years?
Something like that.
Okay. They want to do $1.9 billion at Disneyland. That's it.
Which again, is a lot of money.
It sounds like a lot of money, but let me tell you.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge cost $1 billion by itself. So we are not going to get park expansions, a new shopping district, potential Skyliner or monorail expansion for $2 billion. You're crazy if you think that's going to happen.
I mean,
So Disney's cheaping out on us yet. I'm just kidding. Yet again, they want to spend $2 billion. That's pretty nice. But
yeah.
it's not going to cover all
No.
that they've proposed.
It won't be as grand as we're all hoping it would be.
No.
Which again, I am like, again, I'm going to sit here and go, I'm excited that they are doing something. Is it what we're all wanting? Probably not. But hey, at least they're doing something with the park.
Yes.
So.
Thank you for taking our thousands of dollars and pooling that together to expand the parks.
And now back to transportation.
And now back to it. So once you're in the Disneyland area, it is extremely easy to navigate. Do not be afraid. It is, again, just a breeze compared to Disney World. Make sure to bring a good pair of walking shoes and you're going to be fine. Let us know some of your favorite ways of getting to and from Disneyland. If we've missed anything, please let us know. Mm-hmm. If we missed any tips and tricks, let us know because we would love to use them.
Yes, for sure.
All right, that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us over on Instagram and Threads at Market House Podcast. Make sure to follow us over there for pictures from the park and exciting news and announcements. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Both are a giant help to the show. Remember, we have a Patreon. Join us over at markethousepodcast.com/support. Your support means the world. Remember to use our Getaway Today link in the
episode
thing.
description.
That's what it's called. And use Market House 10 to save $10 on your next vacation. Join us next week for another episode. It's been fun. It's been walking and tiring and Disneyland filled.
Bye.